this housing crisis, this housing affordability, cost of living crisis is one of the biggest challenges of our generation. It's such a mammoth task to try and solve a problem like this because it is truly multifaceted. It's not just a town planning issue. It's a more national or global issue that we face. And there's no easy solutions. There's no silver bullets. We need our greatest minds kind of working together to solve this one. And that, I guess, if we look at it from a top-down approach in terms of at the Australian government or federal government level, there's certain things that they can do to facilitate more housing. But they can't do it alone. They need to have a collaborative approach with state government, local government, and the development industry and the community more broadly. The federal government can take some really meaningful steps towards trying to unlock more housing supply. But I think they need to focus on the fact that the development industry, the private sector, is best placed to deliver the majority of housing. So they need to kind of view their solutions through that lens. So at a federal level, are there certain incentives or disincentives? So carrot and stick approach. Are there certain things, are there certain levers that the federal government can do to facilitate more housing development? Can they adjust the tax regime to promote more investment and delivery of housing? Can they do more in terms of bringing the state government and local governments to the table to fund certain projects or fund certain process improvements to facilitate that? At a federal level, the environmental laws are often seen as a massive risk factor for developers, especially when we talk about doing greenfield development. So this is development that is typically in newer emerging areas where there are environmental constraints or matters of national environmental significance. Think koala habitat, for example. You guys would know that when you see that kind of constraint for land, that could mean that you trigger the need for an assessment against the federal environmental protection laws, that means massive risk in terms of cost and timing and outcome. And so that lack of certainty is something that the federal government can start to address at that higher level. And they have been moving in that direction lately to try and improve or reform the national laws when it comes to environmental protection. So they are doing something. But I guess when it comes to any political policies, we're at this kind of whim of the 4-year political cycle that you might have a change of government every 4 years. And that can have a massive kind of negative impact on any progress in that regard. So if we have a change of government, are they going to change their policies and processes? So if we can just be mindful of those things. But I guess moving down the tree or the hierarchy at a state level, again, there's been a lot of movement. There's been a lot of action by the former state government and the current state government to try and unlock more housing, to try and facilitate more streamlined approval processes, to fund infrastructure so that would allow developers to deliver more housing. But I guess it remains to be seen how effective that is. What we know is that we have these housing targets that we're not even close to meeting to accommodate our additional population growth. So the state government is doing things to try and unlock more housing, but I guess it's questionable as to whether or not they're actually hitting the targets.